everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Zanny B. Davis. I am so excited about our episode today, our video today. You guys know I'm just sharing every single week about a specific topic, but my Biz bestie is here on this live with us, on this video really with us, and I'll be speaking to her about her program and her offering and how she helps moms, millennial moms. And I'm so excited for her to share her framework, her process with you guys, because I know as moms how challenging it could be in this kind of environment when we're trying to do so many things. And I absolutely love her queen, embodiment and everything else that she has to share. And I know it's going to be so helpful to you guys. So I was like, I have to have you on into my channel, right, to share some juicy stuff. So let's get right into it. Let me introduce you to my friend, absolutely amazing woman, mom of three, business owner. She is just like a superpower. Let me introduce you to Rochelle Ford-Wilson. Go right ahead.
Oh, that's like the most amazing introduction. Thank you so much, Zanny. Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so glad I could be able to join your community on YouTube and share my program, my mission, all the things that I'm about. But thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Yay, I'm so happy to have you here. So first off, I apologize for the sweaty looks. It's like so hot today in the UK, but I'm not complaining, honestly. I just kind of threw on a bit of a makeup, so now I'm like, oh, but I am happy to have you here. And obviously, as I shared before, like all of those things I've just said is absolutely true. When I met you and all the things that you're doing, I was like, how does she do it? I've got one little girl and I'm like out of my hair, right? But Rochelle does all the things, and it's because of like what she embodies and her framework that she's going to share with us. So Rochelle, I want you to tell us what you do, who you are, tell the audience, tell my ladies, so that they can see what you're all about.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And listen here, ladies, as long as you are a mom, you are a multitasker. I don't care if you have one kid, 10 kids, it's what's in our DNA as soon as we become moms, right? So
Yes.
I think we're all super powerful, super human beings. And that's the whole point of my brand. So basically my brand is called Queen Success by Rochelle. And my work is really embodying women's empowerment, moms' empowerment, really helping moms to step into their queen, which is basically their inner power. So that's really, connected on Zanny's work of the power framework. It's really just allowing moms to remember that they are a queen. They have the power to step into the full capabilities of their desires, their potential, all the things that we kind of lose track of when we become moms and partners and, cooks and chefs and all the things that we kind
All
of
the
have
things.
roles, right?
Yes.
It's really about stepping back into owning your truth as a woman. So not only are you a mom or a wife or, a business owner or a colleague or employee, but you're a queen. And that is exactly what my brand is about. So I am all about reminding moms to really step back into their queenhood, which is again, their inner power, to reclaim and embody their queenhood. So it could look different for every single woman. For me, I'm a mom of three boys, three hectic, crazy boys. I'm a wife to one. And then obviously I have a business. I have so much going on, but truly I choose to embody my queen in ways that helps me to show up, be powerful, take really good care of myself, which is a huge piece of being a queen.
So huge. Love
Right?
that. Yes.
Your well-being, your power, your pleasure, your joy. That is all the juicy pieces of being a woman that we often forget as moms. So I'm really bringing that back.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? So guys, I'm a hypnobirthing coach as well as a mindset coach for Christian women of faith, right? And what I love about Rochelle's embodiment and her framework and everything, her body of work, I should say, is the self-care part, the stepping into that queenhood. That speaks to me because I know as a mom of one, I mean, it's such a huge jump going from having no kids to being a mom, right?
Yeah.
And if I don't take care of myself, like on the evenings, I'm just like, bedtime, I get some time for myself. I could read, I could chill, I could do what I want to do. I can't make it. So tell us more about like this whole self-care and stepping into this queenhood, which I just love. It just sounds so juicy.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. The thing about it, Zanny, is like some moms or most moms, I think of self-care as this extravagant, I got to take myself to a spa day. I got to get my toes done, my nails done, a full body massage, a trip to Jamaica for a week. That's the way that I'm going to have self-care. right? But I gotta really bring it back to like where you are right now. There's always opportunity for you to step into your queenhood. And I call that, queen time. If you follow
Yes.
my brand, if you follow me on
Yes.
Instagram, I always talk about queen time. And that is really just making self-care attainable for the average modern mom.
Yes.
Where are you in your life? How can you really create time, space, boundaries, which is a huge piece, boundaries around your full desires, your joy, your pleasure, your well-being in and out of motherhood and your daily to-dos and the things that go on a daily basis in our lives, right? As a queen, the biggest thing that I can really teach my queens and talk about often is like, you have the power to make those changes. You get to
Yes.
say, you know what, I'm saying no to this so that I can say yes to myself. And I always say, and Zanny knows it too, like as women, if we do not fill our cups first, if we do not take care of our soul, our truth, our well-being, how can we tell our children, be the best you can, take care of yourself, have fun, be an amazing person? They're not going to see us for what we say. They're always going to
Yes.
see what we do. And if they see
Yes.
me tired, burnt out, overwhelmed,
Amen.
constantly looking, bitter, resentful, they're gonna be like, oh, she's saying one thing, but she's doing the other, no matter
Yes,
how old our
absolutely.
children are, right?
Yeah, oh my gosh. And I notice how our kids copy us. Like my
Yes,
little 2-year-old, she copies everything that I do and I say, and even the attitude. So you're so right. Children do what they see and not what they are told.
yes.
Yeah.
100%. So that's a piece of embodiment. You have to embody what you desire, your child, your clients, your husband, your partner, whatever you want to receive, you have to embody that. So being a queen ultimately means stepping into your power and saying, you know what? I desire to be treated this way. I desire the best of the best in the world. I desire self-care time for myself. I desire time to be creative, to have pleasure, to have fun, alongside being an amazing wife or amazing business owner, amazing mother. So how can you step into that embodiment and choose to create those pieces of pockets of time in your day to then walk your talk, not just talk, but do it. So even for me, I have boys. I don't have a daughter. I have 3 boys and a husband, right?
Yes, yes,
And
all boys.
for me, my boys, as much as they're not going to be looking at me as, oh, a mother taking care of herself, but they're going to look at me as, wow, my mom, I grew up with a mom who took care of herself, who said, I need my time, and we gave her that time. So that means when I become a husband or a partner later on, I'm going to give my wife that time because my mom
Yes,
taught me to respect
yes,
her queen, right?
yes.
And
No, that's
like, can I
brilliant.
tell you, I'm raising husbands here, okay? Future husbands that are going to respect their women, respect their queen, whoever's in their life, to say, you know what, you deserve to treat yourself well. I saw my mom who treated herself well, and she was amazing for that. She was an amazing mother, amazing wife. She poured into us, but she also poured into herself. And that's how they're going to grow up to appreciate and choose how their wife or their partner creates their time and how they, respect her time as a woman. So it's like a domino effect, right, Zanny? You
Yeah,
have to show what you want. If you're
yeah.
going to say, I want more time for myself, I want to be taken care of, I want to feel like a queen in my home, but then you're like acting like a martyr, acting like a slave, acting like a
Mm,
victim of life, they're
yes.
going to see that. So
Yeah. As you're
it's
speaking,
all,
there's so many things are coming up for me. I'm thinking like, okay, kids, people around us, we respond to the feeling, right? It's not about the saying and the doing, it's the feeling that's behind everything. So when mom or a partner, whatever, feels good, they're joyful, they're happy, that
yeah,
the whole environment is changed. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking all of these things while you're saying these things,
yeah,
because it's not just like, okay, this is how I want to be as a husband or a partner for your kids I'm speaking about, but it's more like, oh, how is me like allowing my wife to be this way, and helping her along in this journey and all
yeah.
these things, doing for us as a couple, as people in the environment, the home. It just kind of, as you said before, domino effect into it.
Yes, it affects everything. And is what, like, I think one of my first mentors said to me, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah.
If you are acting like a slave girl, a martyr at home or in your marriage or the way you raise your kids, where you're constantly just giving them things and not saying, you know what, mommy needs her time, or
Yes.
husband, I need my time. You're teaching others how to treat you, as well as showing the world, this is how I show up. So
Yeah.
imagine you're going to start showing up like that in your business, in your marriage, in your partnership with friends, just all areas of your life that you wouldn't even think of acting and showing up that way, you will. And
Yes,
sometimes it's very unconscious. You don't really notice it, but that is
absolutely.
that, I think a part of that ties into us people pleasing as women, right?
Yes.
That is such a huge, huge epidemic in the world right now as women. We're constantly grown up to say, you got to be the good girl. You got to be
Yes.
saying
Say
yes to
yes.
people. No matter how you feel inside, you got to make
Yes.
sure that you're taking care of your family, making sure everyone feels good, making sure you're not disrupting everybody's, happiness because of your own. No. This new way of living, me and Zanny, which we're really stepping into as powerful women of color coaches out here, is
Yes.
reteaching these moms in the whole world, really, that you get to step into this new paradigm of motherhood, stepping into this new paradigm of modern motherhood, where you get to take good care of yourself. You get to show up as a queen. You get to teach or reteach people around you how to treat you based on how you treat yourself.
Yes, I love that, because all I'm thinking now, I want to bring in this self-worth,
Yes.
self-love, because this is so crucial. And as you just said so rightly, like as coaches, we knew for us to step out and be the women that we were called to be and show up and serve, and for every other woman, we had to see our worth. We had to love ourselves. We had to see that we are worthy of it so that we could then say, this is what I want. This, being able to be bold enough to say, this is what we want. We need time for ourselves. You know what I mean? Because we love and respect ourselves. That
Mm-hmm.
is a non-negotiable for us, right? Love
Yes,
that. Love that.
non-negotiable,
Yes.
right? You said it right there.
Yeah,
You
love
got
it.
to start saying no. You got to start showing up in that power,
Yes,
right?
that was my next question, Rochelle. Get into the boundaries. I love how you speak about boundaries. I think that is so good, because so many women I speak with, especially moms, multiple kids, I think with one child, you're kind of a bit leeway. But when you've got two and three, it's a bit more challenging, I think, because I get that feedback a lot from moms. Tell us about boundaries and how we can set boundaries with our kids, with our partners, so that
Yeah,
we can have that self-care. I think that would be so important.
absolutely. And you know
Yeah.
what? The thing about it is you have to think of it as how you teach your kids is how they're going to treat and show up and treat you.
Yes.
If you say you want boundaries in your home, but you're constantly just saying it, and again, you're just saying, I need time for myself, but you're not creating the time. You're not saying, you know what, mommy's in a call, or mommy's in her office, mommy's in her goddess room, like whatever you want to do. You
Yes.
have to set those expectations from the beginning. Think of it like this. I had actually a conversation with a friend of mine recently where we talked about like how we showed up in relationships. So this is before we got married, is
Yes.
how our partners start to see what type of woman we are and how to treat us, right?
Yes.
If you were dating in a dating part of your life right now, and you met a man and you were kind of like, I really like a man who does this X, Y, and Z, but then allowed him to like put the bill on you, or to not call you, or to be like certain things that you'd be like, no, this is not like right for me, but then you're still allowing the man to do it. He's going to learn in that relationship that, oh,
That's
I could do
okay.
that because she's okay with it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's the same thing as a mom, as a woman, as a wife. You have to constantly show up and show what you're okay with and what you're not okay with, and train. I know that sounds kind of backwards, training, but in reality, that's what you're doing.
Yes.
As you continuously keep those boundaries in place for yourself, say every Sunday night at 9 p.m. it's mommy's self-care time. I take a bath, I read a book, don't interrupt me, right?
Yes.
They're gonna keep, maybe they're a couple of weeks, couple of days, they're gonna be like, mom, or your husband's gonna be like, babe, let's watch a movie, or babe, this and that. But if you constantly say no, it's, you stick to your guns. You say 9 o'clock on Sundays is my time. Before that, I will give to you, I will show up for you, but this is my time. And continuously say no if something comes in that way. That is going to showcase and train your people around you, your husband, your partner, your kids.
Yes.
Oh, she's serious.
Yes.
She is serious.
But I think the issue, and I want you to speak into this as well, is the guilt, isn't it? Is the mom guilt? Oh, how can I say no when they need me? And I think sometimes it's the ego as well, right? No, they can't. The house cannot operate without me being there. I'm holding it together, right? Like we think, and that's the truth, right? We have these beliefs in our minds that if we just step away for a minute, then it would all collapse. Like things can't go right, and that guilt comes in. So I think that that's something that a lot of moms probably need to look at as well. Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Mom guilt is huge, huge, huge,
Mm.
huge, huge, huge. But the thing I like to think about too is like, okay, if you were to get sick tomorrow, God forbid, you got a horrible cold. Yes, your kids would be like, Mom, like you're not cooking dinner. Like, what's happening? What do you mean you're not? What do you mean you're sick? Right?
Yes.
But if let's say we're sick, but then we had to go to the hospital and we're like not there, your man would have to step up. Your
Yes.
kids would have to eat something. Your house would have to run, even if it's a little chaos and not perfect. And that's the
True.
piece that we actually causes the mom guilt, is we have to do it our way because our perfectionist syndrome.
Yes. Yes.
If we
People
don't do
not
the
doing it
laundry,
good enough.
if we don't put this book here, or this, this tablecloth or this pillowcase the way we want it, we don't trust enough of our
Yes.
partner, our kids,
Yes.
to do it in our place.
True.
Right? So one is letting go. We have to learn as women to let go.
Love that.
The perfect home, the perfect meal, the perfect home, like all the things that we are trying to like control, we have to let go of that control.
Yes.
We will be fine. The world's not going to blow up because we're missing for an hour.
Amen.
Our
Yes.
husbands are not going to leave us because we need an hour for ourselves. Our kids are not going to like self-destruct. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of
We have
course.
to just choose to let go of that control. And that is again tied to the belief that if I don't show up, if I'm not here, they're not going to love me. They're going to, make the house crazy. They're going to poison themselves. Like whatever our silly beliefs are as moms, where like we have to show up and be there all the time. We have to step away from that. So that's a huge piece of stepping into your queen. That's that mindset shift where you're like, okay, as a queen, I should be able to take care of myself. And who knows, maybe hire somebody if that's the case. Then go look for a house cleaner to come in, or a cook. If you can afford that, then that's fine. But then say, you know what, as a queen, I choose to take care of myself. If this hour of time pocket of the day, I can't, I could take care of myself and not have to worry about my husband doing it, my kids doing it. Like they will be fine if I'm fine. Yes. They will learn to be fine with me missing for that 1 hour. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think it really ties to our beliefs and, our constant need for control as women. We need to let it go. Let it go. And then as you start practicing that every day, every week, however often you do this, you'll start to see, oh, they were fine. Or they figured
get along.
out.
Yeah, they survived.
Right? They survived. The house is not like blown up.
Destructed, yeah.
Right? And that's going to start showing you like, oh, this is okay. Where else can I start leaning back a little bit? And that's actually a part of being in your feminine. A lot of people think being a mother means you're in your feminine because you're nurturing. No. Feminine is really leaning back and receiving. Yes. Mothering is masculine because we're constantly giving. We're protecting our children. We're cooking. We're showing up. We're telling them what to do. That's in your masculine energy. Yes. And as a queen, you have to learn to balance the two.
I love that.
Feminine receiving is when you lean back and say, you know what? I trust that my husband can do what he needs to do while I'm gone.
Love that.
I trust that my kids can be okay for the hour or 20 minutes that I put them in front of the TV with a snack. Yes. I trust that, you know what I mean? I can lean back and receive as a woman, and it will be fine because I'm taken care of and I choose to be in that spot right now. Yeah.
I love that trust. I love. Okay, perfect. I'm going to shift a little bit more now. So let us go into the queen breakdown. Tell us about that. That is so powerful. Let's go into that.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I recently had an amazing masterclass on my 5 key queen principles to help women step into their queen embodiment. And I really wanted to share this with Zanny's community. So thank you so much for that. I'm going to do very quickly because it does get deep, but pretty much it's the queen basically what surrounds my whole work, my body of work, which is the Queen Success Principle. So Queen, Q-U-E-N, that is the acronym, and each letter stands for something. So let's start with the letter Q. Q is she questions her previous and current ideologies and beliefs about who she is and what values she brings to the world. So that's the first part. Instead of just sticking to what your mother did when she was growing up, or what your family did when you were growing up, you decide to step back into your power as a woman. So you know what? Does that serve me anymore? Does that work? You got to question it. So that's taking that responsibility to be aware of like, is this actually working for my life now as a modern mom? Or am I using old past stories, old past traumas, old past beliefs that my parents and my mothers and mothers before me had that got passed on to me? So I think that's the number one thing. The starter point in all transformation is awareness and questioning, does this fit with me now as a woman?
Oh my gosh. Absolutely true. I always say this, right? Noticing, questioning, is this serving me? Is this the way I want it to be? Because we do not have to accept things. If we don't like it, we can change it. Love that.
Exactly, right there. You have the power to change it, but no one else will do it for you. So that's you
Exactly.
taking that bold step and claiming your power. So that's number one.
Yes.
You in the queen. So the second letter is you. She understands how she has been holding herself back and not truly realizing her power and over her life and her circumstances. So that brings us right where we were saying is like when you actually step into your power and realize that you have control over how your life is going, how you are feeling, the type of environment that you're creating for yourself and your family, that's when you bring up the power back. That is when true transformation can happen. So you have to understand that you are the only one that's been holding you back, not your circumstances, not how much money is in your bank account, not how much kids you have, not your man or your divorce, if you're divorced, whatever the case may be that you put the power in. You have to now reclaim that back and say, it was always my choice. It was
Yes.
always my choice as a queen, right?
Yes.
So that's number two. Number three is
Love.
the
Yeah.
first.
Hmm.
Thank you. E is for embraces her newly discovered truths about herself and what is she meant to do, have, and be in this world. So this is now where we bring that power into our lives. You know what? I get to embrace this new version of me, this new belief that I don't have to do everything, this new belief that I am powerful and I create my circumstances. This is my new belief that I'm worthy of my desires or of what I desire to create in my life. How can I now act from that place of belief in myself? I don't
Yes.
need anyone to tell me that I'm worthy of a day for myself, or that I'm worthy of this program I want to take, or this course that I want to do, or that I want to leave my career and start something else. Whatever it is that you desire as a woman, a mother, a wife, whatever, you get to embrace that new trust in yourself, that new belief that this is what I want and I'm going to move towards it. So that's the first E.
Yes, I love that embracing because this is the other thing as well. We know it's like we know or we hear it all the time, right? But then it's like it hasn't sunk deep, right? It hasn't
Yeah.
like hit that head and until
Yeah.
it's like
In
I
one
like to
ear, out the other.
yeah, and I like to say to people like when it clicks, right? So maybe that's the time when it clicks for you that you have to like believe it and start acting from it, right?
And that
Yes,
brings us to my second E, which is
yes,
embodiment.
yes.
This is my most, if you don't remember any of these, please, Queen, remember this letter. The second E is embodiment. She embodies her inner queen boldly to create the life that she desires now. Just like Zanny just said, if you know something, you read books, hear lessons, but if you don't actually take what you've heard, take in that new guidance that you got, that awareness, that new transformation that you heard, and you're like, oh, that feels so good, I want to do that. If you don't take that and start embodying that change, nothing is going to change in your life. You're just going to hear it and be like, oh, whatever, right?
Yes.
We can read thousands of books about a certain topic. And if we don't use that knowledge to transform us, to be like, okay, put it into play, how can I
Love.
step into that as a woman? It's not going to change because you're going to
Yes.
still act from the old place. You're going to act from the old circumstances, the old version of you. No, honey, you're in the new version now. You're the
Yes.
queen. Step into your power,
I love.
embody it.
I love that embodiment because you're the first person I really hear like explain that a lot to me. Like, you know, because you speak a lot about it in your like framework and everything else. And I love it because what clicked for me is like as Christian women, especially, I feel like if we read the Bible and we hear it, we go to church, we hear the sermons, right? But it's not like sticking, right? We haven't embodied God's words, his scriptures, and what he's saying about us in our lives, right? And therefore, we're not seeing any transformation and we're not seeing any changes in our lives because we're not taking it on board. And you're so right in saying that as moms, it's the same thing. Like you heard this so many times. Take care of you, fill your cup first. You know, we hear this all over the place. And so many of us find it so hard to do that. And this is the embodiment, right? You have to find a way to like make it a part of your life.
Exactly. That is the key place. Make it a part of your daily life from this point on. How can I become a queen or be a queen, sorry, in my daily life starting today?
Yeah.
That means making the better decisions, using, whatever comes up for you, use it. Like talk about it. Use your words. Use your energy. That's a huge piece. Like your
Yes.
energy has to be in alignment to that new version of yourself. So that's what I call rising up into your queen. You can
Mm,
now make the changes from that embodied place, but you can't make it from the old version of you. So
yes.
embodiment queens in all aspects is going to transform your life. And that leads us to the last letter of the Queen acronym is N. And that's navigates through her life now with her power back, her self-belief, and her self-trust to show up as the radiant queen you are.
Yeah.
So that's now you saying, okay, I've embodied it. I know this belief. This is my new version of myself. It's what I desire, and that's what I choose. And now how can I start living my life in that new version of myself? So yes, there's a piece of embodiment, but now it's like, hey, how, when things get sticky, when things come up, you have to then learn to navigate through that from that new version of yourself. Because I think a lot of times a mom will be like, okay, I want to take more better care of myself and I'll do it. But then something comes up, your kid gets sick, you know, your husband gets upset. Like, why are you going out so much? Or why are you investing in this course? Like something's going to come up to trigger you, to bring you back to your old self. And that doesn't mean that it's not right for you or that your decision for yourself wasn't right. It's now showing, okay, Zanny, you chose this for yourself. How are you going to now show me that you're serious? How are you going to move through this and continuously evolve as a woman, as a queen in all the circumstances of your life? Because again, you have power over your circumstances. Your circumstances do not have power over you.
Exactly. And I'm just thinking as well, like life is going to happen, right? Yeah. Like life is going to happen. Things are going to happen. You can't stop it. You can't control people. There's no way you can control circumstances, but what you can control is you, your thoughts, your decision, and sticking to it, knowing that, you know what, this is something that I can do for me, right? Betterment for me, betterment for my family, betterment for my kids, whatever it may be, right? And sticking to that and not like, and I like to say, not wavering, right?
Yes.
Not being in doubt.
If you constantly move with life and a bill just came up, I can't do it, or my kid just got upset. Especially as moms, we must know things come up all the time where you're like, whoa, that came out of nowhere. Like what? But you have to be in your power and be like, I can rise above the circumstances and still be a queen. That means being flexible. That means, saying, okay, if I can't do my queen time now, I will do it in an hour. Not saying, oh, I'm just going to take it out of my calendar or just forget it. It's not, like be flexible with your life. You're a mother, you're a wife, whatever. You have to learn to navigate through all life circumstances.
Saying that as well, I read something and I remember hearing this quite a lot. Like we think as women it's either or, but it doesn't. Well, actually, it's not that. It's the and, right? It's like I get to deal with the situation and still get to do what I want to do, right? I get to deal with the kids and still find some time at the end of the day to do what I need to do. It's always the and. It's not or.
Either or, exactly. Right. Stand for the end, right? Like I think one of our mentors said, it's all about you deciding that you are worth it. No matter what happens, no matter what circumstance comes in your life, you are the best investment. You are the queen of the castle. Without a queen, there's no castle. Without a mom, there's no home. There's no family, right?
Love them.
So if you're not coming from that place of power and saying, I get to stand up for myself, because when I do, everything wins. Everyone wins.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You have to step into your power. You have to claim it no matter what. It's not either or, it's an and. I get to be imperfect and I also get to be a queen.
Exactly. I love that because everybody just thinks that, you know what, your life has to be perfect for you to get the things that you want to do. That is not life. That's not life, right? And I was reading something yesterday, I think, and one of the ladies I normally follow, she was like, kids are exhausting. Like, it's okay to say that. Like, my kids annoy me sometimes, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean that I'm not a good mom. That doesn't mean that I can't do things for me and whatever it may be, right? You get to, and that's what I love about that emotion part of like my power framework, because I think so many times, and I'm guilty of this, I bury my emotions so much. And I like, I try to glaze things over. I'm fine, right? But sometimes you have to just be willing to just be like, this is upsetting me. I'm so annoyed right now. But that doesn't make me... own my feelings, and that doesn't make me a bad person. I just get to deal with that right now, get it out of my system, and keep it moving, right?
You're human that's still a queen, right? We're not a perfect, no. We're human beings and we're also queens. We're powerful and we are also flexible. All the things. Full like a full package.
Yeah, absolutely. I just love it. I love this whole queen thing. And I think for moms especially, so many times I just hear a lot of moms just saying like, I don't know how to like manage my time well. I feel like I don't have enough time in my day. I don't know how you get to do this. I can't, I just finished a program where one of the moms said to me, like, how can you be intentional with your peace? Like, how could that be? She couldn't understand how you could have 4 kids and be at peace. And I was like, I remember just remembering you and your framework, and I'm like, it, like embody it, like, choose. Like, I love that. Question it. Does this have to be true? No, this is not true. This is what I see, or whatever.
Yeah. That is you taking yourself out of your circumstance. When you're at the level of thinking that you're in chaos, oh my God, everything's happening, like that freak out mentality or that anxiety, you're not going to think straight. You're not going to think about all the other things, all the other possibilities that could be happening. You're just going to be in that one line of thought, and you can't see above that. So that's why I always tell queens, rise above, take yourself a step back, go in your room and meditate, go into your bathroom and take a second, go on your porch and get a coffee and think. You know what I mean? Get out of the circumstance, whatever you need to do, whatever relaxes you, to get your thinking back to your power. Because once you come from that point, that place, that energy, you're gonna be like, actually, I do have time, because I could be like, doing all these things and trying to tidy up my house and make sure it's perfect for who knows who, because it's a pandemic right now, so not everyone's coming over. Or I can be like, you know what? My dishes can wait. My vacuuming will always be there. I get to take this time for myself because I choose to up level. I choose to read a book that's going to empower me. I choose to take a course or listen to a podcast, whatever it is that's going to benefit you, your energy, who you're being, and how you feel. That's going to be much more worth it in terms of your time in that day than you just doing all the things because you think you have to, or because your mom trained you to have a neat home just in case visitors pop up, or whatever the old beliefs were.
Oh, I love that. I love that, especially the shoulds. And I see this a lot as well. Like, I had to remind myself so much, like in my business as well too. Like, we feel like we should be doing things, but it's not in the should. It's what feels good to you, right? And if you're feeling like, okay, that there's something that I need to get done, I think that we should really find a way in which we could find joy and peace in doing that thing, instead of forcing it with the, oh gosh, I have to get this done. And it's just like, oh,
it's perspective, right?
Yeah.
It's perspective. There's always another alternative perspective. And that's the thing that you have to remember. You are in this one perspective thinking that's it. It's just this one way, like a closed mind.
Yes.
But you have to remember, there's also different ways of thinking of things and being. You could be like, oh my goodness, I'm a victim. I'm just this suck, like that mentality. Or you could be like, you know what? Even though I have to do these things, I can choose to do them with joy. I can choose to do them in my own time, not rushed. I could choose to do them with music on, with a candle lit, with something going on. I can choose, like, there's always another opportunity to choose in that one situation. Don't think that you're stuck in this one, tiny little bubble. God created us to remember that we are, the leaders of our lives. We co-create with him.
Yes.
He wouldn't bring us here to be like in this one tiny mindset and, struggle bus and victim. We are here to step into our power, to be, the God-given, right? Evolve.
Yeah.
We have so much power within us, and we have so much opportunities to change our mind. And that's the number one thing. It's your mind. Everything revolves around your mind and how you use it, which is a tool. It's a tool. It's not this is what it is and that's it. It's how am I going to use my mind, my mindset, my energy, my focus, what I think about, to create the feeling, the level of life that I would desire to be and live in. So
yeah, oh my gosh, I just love it. I love this whole concept, because I think so much times as humans, right, we will put things in a box, like this will work in my love life or in whatever, but this wouldn't work in this aspect, when actually it's life, right? Your life encompasses your love life, your finances, your kids, whatever, right? It's the same way. And I think so many times we get stuck because, as you keep saying, like, we haven't shifted that perspective, we haven't seen it in a different way. And that's why sometimes we need that support, we need that help, because we are just like going in this tunnel vision, going down this way, and you're not even aware that your subconscious mind is going on automation, saying these things to you on repeat, right?
And you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. And then somebody comes in and be like, wait a minute, do you know that you don't have to do things that way, right? You could actually shift that around. And it's like,
cue for question, right?
Yeah.
Cue for question.
Yeah.
That's the first part of my process. Cue for question. If you want to remember that, then do that. Every time you come up to something in your life that you're butting against and you're like, oh, this is so, stop and be like, I remember Rochelle and Zanny said, question. Is this serving me? Can I choose another way of doing this, or another way of thinking of this that's going to, move me? So Question everything, every single thing, and make
Question
it good.
everything. I heard this yesterday. I was listening to this amazing that video that we were watching, the docu series, right? And one of the ladies said she was just a questioner. She would ask questions. She would be like, "Why is this so?" Right? She wasn't ashamed of that because she doesn't have to be the smartest person in the room. She just wanted to know if this is the way it has to go. How do you do it? And that is so important, I think,
Yeah,
as women, as humans,
yeah,
always question. Okay.
yeah.
All right. I don't want to go over too long. So before we wrap up, the last thing I want you to do is just share with us like just one takeaway that you want to leave with us. The mom who right now is watching us, she's like, I'm just so stuck. I feel like I just, I don't have any choices. I feel like if, things just have to be this way. Like, what is that one takeaway that you want her to leave after, she's gone away from this video and shut down her phone or whatever? What's that takeaway you want to leave with her right now?
Yeah, beautiful. I would say you always had the power. As much as you constantly think now that you're in this situation, this life, this way of living that you don't know how to get out of it, you always had the power within you to make the change. There's no one that's going to come save you if you don't save yourself first. There's no one that's going to put something into your head if you don't open your mind to receive that message. So step into your power means really remembering that you always had the power. It's not an external force. It's not me and Zanny that's going to give you the power, or God. That God created the power already. It's already in you. You as a queen have to remember that power, uncover that power, reclaim
Yes.
that power. And from that reclaimed position, you then say, okay, now if I choose to know and believe that I have the power, how can I start using my power to change, to make changes, to transform, to think differently, to move differently, to question things, and just really realign my life back to what it should be.
Yeah.
So I would say, remember your power. It was never taken away from you. Nothing can take it away from you, no matter where you are, how much money you have, how many kids you have, if you're divorced, single, in a divorce, whatever it is, you have the choice. You always did. No one can take it away from you, but you have to reclaim it for yourself.
I love that. I love it. Just like nodding because I know there was a time in my life where and even as I think specifically as Christians, we hold ourselves back so much because we're thinking, oh, well, if God wants me to do it, then I will have had it by now. Or if God wants this for me, then I would have had it. But guess what? God is like, it is yours, but you are not taking action. You're not as you said, discovering your power. And I said that so much as well, discovering your power, stepping into your power, knowing that you have the authority to choose, to decide, to take the action.
There we go. It
Yeah.
starts from a decision. If you don't
Yes.
make a decision where you're like, enough's enough from
Yeah.
today, choose to make a change, it won't ever happen. So it
Yeah.
starts from a decision. And from your decision, it will constantly lead you to the next step and the next step and the next step. But you have
Yes.
to decide, no one
Yeah.
else.
Love, love, love. It's all about what we choose to believe. And I really want to install this and like instill this in us women. Like we have that choice. I love the question. Question that. Do I, is this how I want to be in the next 10 years, next 5 years? Is this the way I want my kids to grow up seeing me being or whatever it may be? You get to choose another way. You get to decide, no, I want to start learning, start growing, start going a different direction. And that's exactly what it is. I love it. Oh my goodness. As we're winding down right now, I know while we're coming to an end, I know that this episode is going to help so many of you. I want you to just leave comments. Let us know what's your greatest takeaway. Let Rochelle know, whatever has spoken to you in this episode. Let us know as well. And before we close, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on, sharing your value and your wisdom with us as a mom, and how to step into your queenhood and everything else. It's just been really good having this conversation. I know it will help so many of us out there.
You're so welcome, Queens. And thank you so much for having me, Zanny. It was so
You're
fun.
so welcome. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that ding button if you want to be notified when a new video comes out, which comes out every week. And of course, share this. Share this with other moms, Christian women, whoever it may be, who you think this could speak to. Your mom, your sisters, whatever it may be. Share the video and let us know by liking it as well. Okay. So speak with you guys soon. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.